Welcome to another game of Catan. Today we are in third position, and looking at the board, there's a lot of or wheat pairs. On this board, I'm looking at the 10-5-8, which is pretty solid. The 9-10-5, which is pretty solid. The brick is kind of on the edge here. It's going to be tough for anyone who's going for a road to really be able to pull that off on this board. So green takes the 10-8-5, good choice. I would probably do that as well, going off to the wheat port. A lot of wheat on this board as well, so it's a pretty safe placement. Second position, I'm assuming takes the 10-5-9. And here the second position has a huge advantage over the first position. Anytime you see a board like this, where there's a lot of pairs of something, sometimes it just hurts being in first position, because what happens is you get a decent spot, but the person in second position is able to pair with it a lot better than you. So if you're going for or wheat sheep in second position here, you're going to have an advantage over first position. So if I were red, I would probably take the 9-10-5, going off to the 3-1. And what do we want to take here? I'm considering the 6-11-5, just because there's always the potential we get on the 10-9-2 on the way back, but I don't love it. It's not a ton of production, but we would have or wheat sheep pretty locked down. Yep, so he does take the 9-10-5. Is there any spot that's better than the 6-11-5? You could consider the 4-5-3, going off to the 3-1, knowing that you're going to get on enough wheat on the way back. That's pretty tempting. But what would fourth position take? Fourth position, it would give him too great of a setup, because fourth position would take 4-9-2 and 5-11-6. So we can't risk that. So we need to take one of these spots. I think we're going to have to take 5-6-11 here. And then we can always go left. Let's see. We can always go left and then place on the 3-11, since that'll probably be open. Fourth position is going to have a decent setup though as well. They'll probably go 3-6-4, 9-11-4, and that'll look really good for them. But I think this is the way to go. We'll be on a lot of ore, a lot of wheat, which wheat is super plentiful this game, so it's not as valuable. But we are on a strong ore placement that's shared with green, who's also going to have or wheat sheep, so he'll help us defend that spot. So blue in this position, I would say take the, honestly, I'm now seeing this, they could take the 3-4-5 and the 6-10-9. And that's just incredibly, incredibly good. That's incredibly good here. Hopefully they don't see that. Someone would have to take the 8-3, otherwise it would be game over. Okay, 4-6-3, probably the 9-4-11. I think they missed a really good opportunity there. Because if they would have gone up, they have their brick and wood paired up. And then if the 8-3 is open, then they get on the strongest sheep as well. So just be really solid. Then they can also go off to the sheep port. They have a lot of production, so I think blue missed a really good opportunity there. But hopefully blue doesn't place on the 11-9-4. That's probably where I would go. But if they don't, I'm going to be taking the 4-9-2 most likely. So we'll see. Going for road here is just going to be tough. Doesn't make too much sense. I mean, there's the 8 brick, but it's all the way in the corner. Okay, so they took what I wanted. So that makes it a little bit tougher for us now. We need to be on sheep. So what I'm thinking maybe is, well, first off, the 9-6-10 just looks really, really good, just because of how much production you're on, but I don't know how much I want to race green for that spot, given that he Can always just place on the 4, 11, 3. So I don't know about that. Now we could just take the 11, 3, 4, going off to the brick port. Then we have our sheep, but it's not a ton of production. The other option's the 11, 9, not a ton of production. The 8, 3 is probably what I'm considering the most here. Starting on the 3 to 1 port. But it's risky. It's definitely risky. And it's not a ton of production. I like the potential of having a lot of space with the 11, 3, 4. And I can always connect. So if we went here, what would red do? Red would probably take the 6, 10, 9, which I don't love. That's tough. And that's such a good spot for red. But it doesn't really help us a lot. Hmm. 10, 8 maybe. 10, 8 going up to the 3, 4. Alright guys, I don't know about this. It's not a lot of production. We're giving red a good spot. But the 8, 3 is not a lot of production either. And at least with this spot, we can always have the potential to connect and maybe squeeze on the 4, 8, which will help activate that brick port. So that's ultimately why we chose this spot. Yeah, blue 9, 6, 10 all day, going up. The good part is I don't think it makes sense to block us here at all. And so in terms of pacing, we should do okay there. But I think we'll have to go for road now. And now green, what does green take? I mean, honestly, green could take the 8, 10 and be fine here. Yeah, green could take the 8, 10 and be fine here. I didn't want to lead this 11, 4, so I was thinking the 8, 10 myself, but the problem with that is I go up and then green just takes the 4, 11, 3. So what in the world is that placement? Alright, that makes no sense at all. Really don't know what was going through his mind with that placement. I know it doesn't help a ton for us to get on the brick port right away, but it just moves us closer to getting to that 8. And once we get to the 8, then we'll get on the 3, 12, 6. And then we're cooking with gas. But it's definitely going to be a slow build up for us unless our 3s and 11s hit. Red takes that trade. Red's definitely in the best position here. But now he needs to get on the wheat port. I mean, honestly, if he doesn't get on the wheat port, he's going to be fine. I'm most likely going to be blocking that 10 all day this game. Maybe the 9. But I'm going to be focusing on red. Red has definitely the best potential to win this game. And blue's not doing bad himself. I'll be competing with him quite a bit for road. And once he gets on the 5-2, he'll also be doing pretty well. So I think my setup is maybe the worst besides green. I didn't expect blue to place on the 4-9-2 here. But I understand what he's doing. I don't think it's a horrible placement. Okay, we do hit an 11. That's good. Now we really need wood. Okay, green going off to the 3-2, which I don't understand. Sorry, the 8-3. I'm not sure why he wouldn't try for the 10. I need 2 cards. Definitely not taking this with 1. I would rather red just 7 out. Yeah, I think red should have taken a trade here. I don't know if anyone has wood, actually. Let's see if anyone would do this. We really want to get on this spot. I'm fine with passing with 6 since we don't have a ton of production. We don't need the ore. I mean, I'd rather see... Maybe I should have just done a 1-for-1 for ore. Got a dev card there. Okay, so blue does have wood. Okay, that's good. 7 hits. Red should have made a trade last time. Now, green should definitely be robbing red here. But I have a feeling he's not going to do that. He should probably rob the 10 or the 9. But he puts it on the 6, steals from me. Okay, now we know red has wood. And he has the city. Yeah, definitely should have blocked the 10. Maybe you could have prevented the city there. We got the wood. 10's getting blocked all day. Maybe the 9. But red's definitely in the best position here. That 9's hitting, so he's got, let's see, 4 sheep, 2 wood. What else does he have? He has a wheat. 4 sheep, 2 wood, and a wheat, so he needs brick. Yeah, we want to get to that 8 really quick. I think we might swing around and go up 2 instead of the side so we can get on the sheep and the brick here. Now, do we want to go for the dev card? We'd rather hold for the city. And I don't think we should be getting robbed here. But who knows with our competitors? I think we're going to pass. We'd rather hold for the city if we can. If we get stuck with a lot of cards next round, then we'll consider porting for the, not porting, but going for the dev card. I don't want to have to fight for army here, but it might make sense. It's just red is going to be, makes a lot more sense for red. I have no idea why green wouldn't fight for the wheat port. That just gives red such an advantage. Another 9, so he's sitting on a lot of sheep. He might be able to port for it. I think he needs brick. Oh, he needs sheep. We would do this for 2, or and that is it. Nope, doesn't help us that much. We want to make him port as much as possible. So we're only going to take trades with red unless it really, really helps our hand. And the wood doesn't help a ton. So we're definitely going to steal again from red. We do get the wood. So do we want to go for the 11, 6, 3, sorry, the 6, 3, 12? The problem is it's not really, it's quicker, but it's not, it doesn't help us as much because we can't port it out. And we don't have a lot of brick to go with it. And we don't have a lot of ore to go with it. So I think that's why we're going to go here and go for the dev. Right now, I mean, it just doesn't help our ratio. It gives us a little bit more production, but we don't have a 3-to-1. So it doesn't make a ton of sense. Another 8. But once we go on the 8, then the next objective is definitely going to be the 3, 6, 12. And then I think we'll do cities. But right now I'm not as concerned with cities. Really not a lot of brick on this board, which is actually good because we don't want people expanding quickly. Now blue actually has a decent shot now that he has that port. So blue's actually in a really good position here as well. And he just rolled another brick, so maybe he trades us, but I doubt it. He has plenty of wood to go with his brick. Green just made a huge mistake going for this 8-3. There's no reason for this. He could have gone for this port any day, but now he's going to get the wheat ports taken from him, and that is going to help blue tremendously. I would rather see him have the port. Yeah, we really didn't need it here. Let's see if anyone wants to do this. Maybe blue. I think blue's the only other person with brick. If not, I think we'll have to go for the dev card here. Who trades it? Knight, okay. I'm fine with the knight. We can put that on the 10 or the 9 to help slow down red a little bit. Wow. Blue going for a road very quickly. So I guess he wants to double up on the 5. I guess that's not the worst idea. And then he 4-for-1s his ore for wheat. Interesting. I think we'll take this. We're not too worried about green. Maybe we should have asked for 2 cards there. I think we will have to go for army though. And still, I mean, road's on the table as well, but we're not going to waste the night here unless we know that. So let's see. 5. Wonder if anyone has the brick here. do we want another dev card? I think we might hold for the city. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to hold for the city here. Because the other thing is we're gonna need our sheep and wheat. Yeah, so now we hit an 11. So that's good that we held. Maybe if we get lucky, we can get a city and settlement here. That'll put a lot of fear in our opponents though. The other thing too, now that we have to worry about is green going for this 3, 6, 12 spot. So we want to get this settlement as soon as possible. Definitely not going to give a brick to blue. He has the port, so maybe the 6 hasn't hit a ton. I don't think it has. That's very tempting, but it really doesn't help our hand a lot. And I would rather see blue 7 out. But it is really tempting. That's a lot of cards. It gives us the city. But I'm fine with him 7ing out. That's more helpful to me than putting me at risk for 7ing out and allowing him to get rid of his cards. So we're doing decent here. We do hit the 7. It's going right on the 10. Now let's see if anyone has ore. This is going to be kind of sneaky, but nope. I think we're going to hold here. If we can get the city, if we hit a 4, I think we'd almost rather get the dev cards and secure army while red is still slightly handicapped. What's good is we have positioning on red as well, so what that'll really help us do is anytime that he moves the robber, we can put it back on him and back on his 10 ore. But best case scenario is blue snags that spot from him. Okay, so we do have the city now, but best case scenario is blue gets on the 10, and we like that much more. Hopefully no 7. Okay, another 5. Green is not really a worry for us at this point, besides if he wants to get on the 12, 3, 6. It's tempting to go for 2 dev cards here, but we have the city, so that'll help us more long term. And then we can always use the brick once the 3 hits to secure this 12-3. Or honestly, if we could, it'd be even better if we can get on the 8-12. Just so we can cut red off here. Another 5 hits. So we know. Oh, we don't like that because red's definitely going to take that trade. I don't think he has any ore. It makes a lot of sense if he took that trade. Unless he doesn't want to help green, I guess. Apologies, our camera went out in this part of the video, so I'm just going to do a quick voiceover briefly while we switch over cameras. So it's green's turn, and it looks like they're trying to get a city. They're 2 for wanting for wheat. It's important not to make those trades, by the way, especially when your opponents are trying to get cities. You would much rather see them port. So an 8 rolls, red with another city, and that's a big city for red too, by the way, because now he's able to make his wheat, he's able to increase his wheat production a lot, so that every time a 6 hits, every time a 10 hits, he gets a free card. So we 7'd out. We got rid of a lot of our ore. We're not really going for a second city, so I'm not worried about getting the 3 pair of ore for this exact reason. So if we got rid of another brick, we wouldn't have been able to 2 for 1. And that second knight is really, really important here. We have positioning on red, so the more knights, the better. Anytime it gets on us, we're able to move it right back on red, on that 10 spot. And that 10 is going to be crucial this entire game, because essentially it forces red to 2 for 1 all of his wheat when just to get really anything with the city makes it harder for him to compete with us for army. So thankfully our opponent sees that as a threat as well, blocks the 10. Really not sure why green didn't fight for the wheat port here. I understand and also, honestly, the 9 is a horrible placement. So green's obviously a little bit less experienced of a player in this game. So another 9 hits. I think I'm trying to guess what blue's cards are here. And it looks like he has 2 wheat, 2 wood, and 3 wheat. So he has enough does he have enough to settle? Yeah, he does. So he has enough to 2 for 1, but instead he opts for the road, which I'm kind of surprised about. He doesn't really need the brick that much here. He really just needs to get on that 10 or that 3 for 1 as soon as possible, just so he can do something with his wood. Because the 9 has been hitting quite a bit this game. Yep, just hit a second time. So yeah, he's already back with a lot of resources. And that's why, by the way, red's a huge threat this game. But I also have to keep in mind blue, because we might be able to sneak road here. And if we're able to use our knights and go for road at the same time, that'd be huge. So it would make somewhat of sense to block blue here as well, but I think red's the obvious threat. And what's nice too is we haven't had to use our knights, which is good. Because I'm sure if we keep building, people are going to start looking at us to block. But thankfully red's just in such a clear first position here. In such a clearly good spot. So it looks like blue might have timed out there. Hit a big 11. Which is huge for us too. Each time an 11 hits, we get 2 wheat and a brick, which means the next time an 8 hits, we have a free card. Which a lot of our bricks we switched over to sheep this game, so that we could keep buying dev cards. So no reason to give away our brick here. Also, we really don't know what green is trying to do. He could be fighting us for the 12-3-6 spot, which is a spot that we might want to take. But worst case scenario, if it does get taken, we always have the 3-11, which is also a pretty decent spot for us. And if we connect across the 3-11 to our other set of settlements, then we can actually take a road from blue at this point. So yep, so it looks like green does try to extend. And we hit a 3. So I think our footage is going to kick back in here, so sorry for the delay. Back to your originally scheduled program. Alright, 5th time's the charm. Let's see if this works. Okay, so red does have the settlement. Alright, tough position. We might just have to settle for the 3-11, which is not good, because this also makes green more of a threat here as well. I guess we do just need another city. Let's just do this. Maybe someone wants to trade. Wheat for sheep. Get one more dev card. I'm pretty sure red has it, but it's not worth playing the aggressive knight for it. We should be ahead on knights as well. Now, if green would have gone for the wheat port, this would be an entirely different game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so green's now more of a threat. We might have to start blocking the 10. Because at the very least, red still has to city up 2 more things. But anytime a 10 hits, he's going to have enough wheat to fund any city. But 1 more dev card, and then we can just put 2 more roads, and we'll connect for 8. And then 1 more robber, that gives us the win. So who does red rob from? I can see them robbing from green, but I have a lot of dev cards in my hand, so he could see him robbing from me. As long as he doesn't take our ore. But he does rob from green. I think we're going to have to place it back on the 10. We get the sheep. Let's see if anyone does this. Green takes it. Okay, now let's get a dev card first, okay? So now if we play our cards right, and we get enough roads, we can connect. But we are worried about blue. Blue's probably going to place another road, because where else is he going to go? It's a 7. Let's see, what does he get rid of? I know he has wood. Okay, so he has another wood. Does he steal from me? He does. He gets the brick. We didn't want him to get the brick. Because then maybe he uses that with his wood. He does. I think we still want to rob the ore here. Get the brick back. I have been robbing red this entire game, but I think if I haven't been robbing that 10. I think if we haven't robbed that 10, then red would probably have almost won the game by now, because he is such a strong setup with this 6, 5, and 10 wheat. But blue robs for me makes sense. He should extend his road for sure. Hopefully he does not. Yeah, looks like he 4 for 1 for brick. So he's going to place another road. Does he place it on the 2-6? No, he doesn't. So it's not going to be 2 roads for the win. Oh, the 5 hit. That's not what we wanted. Okay, do we pull for it is the question. Do we pull for it? I think we do. I think we pull for it. Let's see. All right, great game. So I think the key to this game was stopping blue's setup. And green was stopping red's setup. He had such a good setup with the 9, 10, 5. And this is one of those times when you need to go for dev cards before you go for cities. Is because I was able to take initiative on that 10, we stopped red from making his cities a lot quicker. We didn't trade him on the 10 wheat. This is exactly how you stop a powerful setup. So I think this was a really, really good game overall. Let's look at the stats really quick. So pretty even across the board, couple 2s, couple 3s. 10s were a little low, which is good, but I think the 10 was blocked pretty much most of the time for red. But decent game. I think blue, well, green made the mistake not to go to the 10, which is why red became such a powerhouse this game. But blue, I think he should have stayed up a little bit earlier on the 3, 4, 6 to ensure that he can get his cities a little bit faster. I like that he doubled up on the 5 here, but I don't know, he could have also doubled up on the 6, but overall, pretty good game. Competitors played well. Red did what he can for being blocked the entire game, but nonetheless, it happens. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.